Hello friends. All right, so I did kind of a fun mother of the bride do the other day and thought I would do a little tutorial for you. So basically it was a little French braid and had some fun ponytails on top. And it didn't take me that long. So it was like a nice quick option for something fun and different than maybe you'd ordinarily would do for a mother of the bride, or just someone who wants something that's a little bit more on the fun side and not so classic. So what we're gonna do is start with our sectioning, and we're gonna do a braid over the top from like temple to temple. So I'm gonna divide at one temple here, and then you can just kind of clip this out of the way. And then same thing on this side. So you just want it to be even. And I'm gonna clip this one away, like so. And so we're gonna braid this middle section here. And if the hair is super silky or just not color treated at all, you're gonna wanna sprinkle in some texture powder, or you can use a texturizing spray to get some grip into it. This mannequin head is just filled with grip, so we don't have to worry about that on her. But you wanna have a little bit of grip for this. So I am gonna be like up on my tiptoes because I can't get her any lower, but you need to get on top of the head because we're gonna start with a French braid going back towards you. So for this look, you want the French braid to be pulled up from the sides straight toward the center. So you don't want it to go back, you want it to go up. And so that means you need to stay right above your work, otherwise it will start to drift back and you won't see the braid as much. The braid will get caught back too far if you stand really behind. So I would recommend making sure you're really high up, not like this. You want to be really over, but I'll do the best I can. So I'm going to divide it into 3, and I'm just going to do actually like a regular over braid. And then with each section that I pull up, like I said, I want it to go straight up to the top of the head. And you just want to take kind of small sections, and so it gives it more of a volumized look. Don't take too big of sections here. So I'm maybe taking like a 1/4 inch, and I'm holding the tension really loosely, and I'm making sure that each section that I grab goes all the way into the center of the braid. So I'm grabbing like an equal amount of hair, bringing up to each side. If you need to add a little texture powder as you go, if you find that it's slippery, then do that. But I've got lots in here from previous work that I've done on this gal. And you just want to make sure, like I said, that you're holding it very loosely. You want loose tension because you want it to be a little bit voluminous. And then you're taking small sections as you go. So by holding it loosely, you give yourself the opportunity to be able to go through and kind of loosen it up later to make it a little bit more full. So it's not really flat against the head, because then you won't really see much of your braid. All right, so I'm going back to just about the crown, like right where the top of the head is the highest in the back. And however far you bring back, that's where your ponytail is gonna start. So if they really wanna see a lot of lift on the ponytail, then you want it to end higher up on the head. If they don't want to see as much of the ponytail, then you can go back a little bit farther. Okay, so I'm just going to braid down a little bit just so I don't lose the braid, and I'll show you. So I have a nice loose braid on top, and then I'm just going to kind of fan this out just a little bit so it has a little bit of volume here. Like I said, a little volume in the front looks nice. And then I'm going to secure this with a clear elastic. So I've got this part secured, and then you can undo that braid that you just had and make sure it's even. Check it out from the front, make sure it's got the volume that you want, and you can see how I've got some nice lift back here, and this is where the rest of my ponytail is going to start. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to curl this section because I want this to be a curly ponytail. I'm dividing it into 2. And I'm going to curl it here, each section, And then we're just gonna clip this away in a curl formation. So it's out of our way, but it's setting and gonna hold the curl well. Got my 2 sections here. And then I'm gonna roll up this curl and I'm just gonna clip this out of the way. Sometimes if I don't have clips handy, I just use open bobby pins and I hold it in like that. So now we can let that part be. Now we're gonna work on our next section. So if this hair, like I said, is silky, we wanna go through and give it some prep. So you're gonna wanna spray it all with a light hold hairspray, brush through it, and then go through at the roots and use your texture powder, texture spray to give it some grip. So that's gonna help make this style quick, and it's gonna help make this style have kind of that full, like loose texture-y feel. So I'm gonna next divide this into 2 ponytails. If the hair is really thick, you can use 3, but we're gonna do 2 today. So I'm gonna do 1 that's from the top of the ears up, and then the remainder is gonna be the bottom. Use my tail comb, start at the ear, and I'm gonna come back towards the center of the head, and I'm kind of going up toward the middle, okay? And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So divide that evenly. So you have 2 even sections. And this is gonna be our middle pony. And so from here, you wanna kind of smooth this up into your hands so it's high and landing right underneath this next ponytail. So this style I think looks the most flattering when it's kind of pulled up away from the face. I think that's kind of why the mother of the bride liked it. A lot of moms, more mature styles, wanna have their face feel more lifted and the hair pulled up off their face. So pulling it down doesn't really achieve that look. That's why we wanna pull it up. And having that texture powder in there first is gonna help it stay nice as you pull it up and not get little bumps or anything or slip out of your hands. So once we have this up, I'm taking another elastic and I'm gonna secure it right underneath my first ponytail. Like that. So we've already got some nice lift. Now if you need to use a couple ponytail holders, I call them binders because I'm from the Midwest, or I don't know why I call them binders. Is it a Midwest thing? I don't know, you guys. Elastics, hair ties, binders is what I use. You might want to use 1 or 2 if the hair is really, really thick. Then I would recommend using a couple. This is fine hair, it's short hair, so I can get by with just using the 1. I'm curling, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to the top. I'm rolling this up, and I'm just gonna hold this in. So you can use the open hairpin, or you can just use a little pin curl clip, like so, okay? And then the last one is gonna be this bottom section. So same thing, you wanna make sure we've got hairspray in here, you wanna have texture spray, and that just helps give you the grip that you need. Brushing through it. This gal is kinda naughty. Normally I have my nice long hair mannequin, but alas, I forgot her today, so we have to work with this one. Okay, so what you wanna do at the bottom is you wanna make sure you get it nice and smooth off the nape. So I'm gonna use hairspray here, and then you can use your hands. If that's not working well, then use a comb, use a boar brush hair comb to really smooth that up and get all the hair off the nape. And then you can do a ponytail again. So I'm putting it right underneath the last one that I just did. Voila. Okay, now we're gonna curl this one. This bottom section's a little thicker, so I'm dividing it into 3. I determine how wide of sections I take based on the thickness of the hair. If you've got really thick hair, you're gonna take more sections. If you have thin hair, you can get by with doing less. But like I said in the beginning, this is a quick, trying to make this like a quick tutorial for you, something that you can do that's fairly easy. So whatever you can do to make it quicker, that might be taking bigger sections if you think the curls will last. Okay, so we got this good. Now this is gonna be your bottom section of the ponytail, and then we're gonna bring these 2 down over the top to make the ponytail look bigger and thicker. So what I wanna do is pin this bottom one up so I get a little bit of volume in it. So I'm gonna go underneath, break these curls up a little bit, I'm just gonna back comb slightly, and that's gonna give me a little grip right there. So I've got my back combing in, and now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put a pin in across the bottom. So I just have this flipped up, and because her hair is thin enough, I can just take pins and go straight across her hair. So making sure I'm getting it in the edges on each side, and then one in the middle. If the hair is really thick, then what you want to do is take 2 bobby pins on each side of a binder or an elastic and stretch that across. But her hair is thin, so I can just push it up like that, and then we're going to bring it down. Now I'll tell you what, the bride that I worked on, mother of the bride that I worked on this weekend, her hair was pretty fried. I mean, she had a lot of color damage in it, but it was much longer, so it wasn't as bad as this. Like, this is pretty bad. So you're gonna have to just get the idea. Like, you know, someone with a little more hair, this is gonna come down in a little bit nicer of a way. But these ends are pretty bad, so we'll do the best we can. But this is the technique that I would use, and we're gonna just hope and pray that the person that you actually have sitting with you doesn't have as damaged hair. If they have really damaged hair, then I would say the long ponytail isn't the best go. I would actually pin this up into like 3 little buns to make that look a little bit cuter. So you get the idea. We have our little perky pony down here. Whoop. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this. But this one, what I actually did this weekend was I flipped this into itself. So I'll show you how I did that to get some volume. So we've already got some good volume here. That creates like some nice perk, right? But if you really want to get a lot of lift, slide this elastic out just a little bit. So sliding it out like so, and then you can flip it. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna take my fingers in the middle of it on the top, and I'm gonna flip it into itself. So kind of upside down. It used to be called a topsy tail back in the day. So it's flipped like that, and then bring this over. And the reason that this works so well is because now you have that ponytail flipped already, and you get some great volume. And it kind of fans it out a little bit. So I'm gonna back comb just a little bit under here, and then I'll fan it out with my comb. Use my tail comb. We might just be getting a really nice 50s style ponytail here. If her hair was thicker, you would have like curls cascading down, right? But like I said, you kind of get the gist. So we've got our perky pony, and our last one is gonna be the very top. So I'm gonna take this out, and we have this on top. And so we have a couple options here. One, we can back comb just to get some volume over the top. You can kind of curl these to make a little bit more texture. Knowing how our hair is looking, I'm just gonna kind of fan this out over the top to get a nice perky ponytail. So this is kind of a good example of how you can learn a technique. Like this technique that I'm teaching you, you can use it on all hair types, but the final result, you're gonna have to use your own discretion on what's gonna look the best. So the bride, the mother of the bride that I did had longer hair, and it kind of cascaded down. So having the curls in this formation made it look like a long ponytail. Her hair is short and it's kind of damaged. So this is just making it look more like one voluminous ponytail. And so one technique, 2 different outcomes. Now what you can do to make this look really extra cute is you want to take, you can take a little hair from underneath. So like one in the middle, and then just wrap it around the top so you can kind of cover up that binder. So I'm covering it up with this piece here, and then I'll just secure it on the other side with a bobby pin. You can just hide it underneath the ponytail. But you can see as it gives it like a nice perky look, and then we have that piece over the top to cover the elastic. And if you wanted, you could, tuck these in and pin this under to have it be more of like a chignon look, which I think looks really nice too. But overall, it's a pretty cute look. It's pretty quick, and you can see how you can get some nice curls going down if you want to just have a longer ponytail look. But I mean, this took me about 15 minutes today. It took me about 15 minutes at the wedding. It uses a lot of hair in the front, which is nice, and you don't have to do a whole lot of curling in the back because so much is pulled up into the ponytail. So it makes for a really nice, quick updo on a wedding day, especially if you're running out of time. Okay, you guys, if you like this, please tell a friend, share this video. I've got more resources on my website, theupdocollective.com. You can join me over in the Facebook group also, where I do some live tutorials. And if you have any questions, please post them below and I will be happy to answer any of them. I'm Heidi, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.